Welcome to 13 Minutes of News, in 13 minutes or less. And a happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. We're going to be way less today. So quick little something here. You guys, check out Solo. Helps you earn better. Check out Solo. WorkSolo.com. Check out MiddletonTech.com, Maximo, DUH, FlexAlert. And check out MovesFinancial.com. Okay? And we're going to all have a great 4th of July weekend. But first, before you go out and do that, I got to shed some light on some news that happened this week. After the fiasco of last week, it's pretty surprising that the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court is doing some pretty major moves this week. And I won't even get into all of them because the U.S. Supreme Court raises some heat in all of us right now. But what I am going to talk about is the decision to not let independent contractor truckers in California be carved out of AB 5 anymore, and instead put them under the provisions of AB 5 and the fines of AB 5 and the same fines that all the people I've interviewed who are independent contractors had to do by, whether they were freelancers, nonprofits, writers, musicians, interpreters, you name it. If you were an independent contractor, you got screwed by AB 5. Well, they carved out the trucking industry. Most people don't know this, but it was like a temporary carve out. It was to be dealt with at one point. Everybody thought that this was going to get kicked down the road because nobody wanted to deal with this during this election cycle. So that we thought that this last week, this wouldn't even be dealt with. It would be kicked down to October, and then again and again and again, that they would kind of stay on the fringe of being exempt, but be exempt. But this week, the U.S. Supreme Court decided they will not hear California Trucking Association's case against its state's controversial worker classification bill, Law Assembly Bill 5. Announced along with several other orders on Thursday, and the Supreme Court denied the California Truckers Association petition for a hearing. So it is a closed case. The decision to not hear the case means that a previous ruling from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit stands, and that the preliminary injunction preventing AB 5 from being enforced on motor carriers will end. So, again, a lot of people still in the dark about AB 5. So what does this mean? Maybe you're kind of off the AB 5 boat a little bit. I get it. It's happened. It's in the past. But what does this mean? It means that 70,000 owner-operator truckers in California now cannot work unless they take a job. They cannot be independent contractors. They bought these rigs on their own. 70,000 trucks, 70,000 owner-operators. They bought these trucks on their own merit, on their own business, with their own money, decided to be their own business, decided to be independent contractors and build something out of it instead of just working for commercial trucking companies. But in this case, unlike a lot of other cases, a lot of money goes into this. I don't know if you guys know this, but the cabs alone for these type of trucks, 300 to 500 plus thousand, depending on how decked out they are. So this is basically as much or more than the person's home in most cases. So they've invested everything, let's say, into this. Well, now they will be fined the same fine that everybody gets fined if you break the AB 5 rule and work with people who are not employees. So in a swift act of a pen, we just wrote away the right for independent contractors to work in California. It's no longer about exceptions. It's no longer about, will they overturn this bill, this, that, they are now strongly showing that you will join a union or you will not live in California and be able to work. That's where this is headed. If you don't think so, put questions in the comments of this video, because I will respond back to all of them. This was a very and just kind of a backhand to a state that already got backhanded during a pandemic and ruined the careers of millions. And I'm not talking about gig app economy people. I'm talking about the traditional gig economy that was around for the past 70, 80 years. Okay, so the truckers getting the carve out was needed. It was needed during the pandemic. This law should have never happened during the pandemic, but it was needed during the pandemic to let the truckers drive. What they should have done is just let that be and let the truckers be carved out, because we already all have enough problems with AB5 and the other states that it's infecting. But now to say, you know what? Yeah, we have a supply chain issue and a big issue here, but you know what? We don't have the mask and the fear of public as much anymore, so we're going to take away this law. And you 70,000 truckers, you guys do what you want. But the only way you can work and earn is if you go get a job with XYZ Trucking and pay the union fees and do all that stuff with your rig. People take generations to build these type of businesses. You know, a lot of these truckers put in their 10 years, 12, 15, whatever years working for companies and decided, I don't want to do this anymore, but I love trucking. I'm going to buy my own truck. I'm going to run my own business. I know what I'm doing. They get some clients and they go about their business. Well, that just ended in California. You now can't do that. That's a freedom you're not afforded. They've decided that's a freedom that they decided in 2020 it's a freedom you don't need. You don't need to be an independent contractor. There's jobs out there. Go get them. People spent 40 years of their lives building these companies. Now they're being told they can't run them. But now you're going to screw with the supply chain and the truckers? 70,000, one state. That said, let's remember what this weekend is about. 4th of July, independence. 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 That's 13 minutes of news in way under 13 minutes, because that's the only piece of news that I have. So with that said, please go have a fun 4th of July weekend and put this out of your head. But remember, independence. Independence. Go do some good stuff. Have some fun. Take it easy. Be safe out there. A lot of drinking and driving going on this holiday weekend. And even if it's not you, it's the other drivers around you that you got to watch out for. And we will see you back here next week. Till then, have a great weekend, you guys. And yeah. Peace.